Guys, I'm pretty sure that you see that Jemele Hill here has 1 million followers, so I sincerely doubt that I can introduce you to her. She did the show with Michael Smith, His and Hers, which I actually liked. I liked their chemistry. I didn't never thought she was dope or anything else like that. I just liked her chemistry with Michael Smith. And they made a really good team in that small show. Then they got moved up to Sports Center. She decided she wanted to be political commentator as opposed to just a sports commentator, and eventually, as I had predicted, and this was before I even had channels, but I was like, eventually ESPN's going to get rid of her. They couldn't do it at the beginning, or when she initially made her I think it was the Trump. She called out a lot of sponsors for dealing with Trump, something along those lines. I don't care, she's not that important. But the deal is that she ESPN, it was a big thing, and ESPN, and I was sitting there thinking to myself, I was like, ESPN can't just outright let go of her because that will look bad, but they'll give it a few months, wait until it gets until it calms down, and phew, right on out the door. And I was right. But she's also gotten a little bit of traction for a retweet of hers of this article about how black men were the white people of black people, which, if you can probably tell by my voice, is something that I took a bit of offense to. And, well, I'm going to use her as the backdrop to a conversation that I've been wanting to have for a while as an American black male, as a descendant of slaves, as someone whose bloodline goes all the way back there when it comes to this country. There's something that I think many of us, and I'm not sure that it doesn't apply to those of other nations, other demographics. I mean, you're black, of course, not without question, but us descendants, we have quite a bit of a very unique struggle here. And one of the things that I've noticed more than anything else is, well, the fact that the women have been turned against us for a very long time. And I believe that it happened at a psychological and subconscious level, to whereas they see absolutely nothing wrong with the things that they do. They've been, not marinated, indoctrinated into the belief that, hey, there's something inherently wrong with the men of your society, so thusly, girl, you have to go and do it, and strong, independent, all that other nonsense, the cliches that are brought up on this channel all the time. I mean, and Miss Jemele Hill here is a stunning example of such a thing. So clearly she writes at The Atlantic now, and she has a podcast on Spotify called Unbothered, which I can't help but feel is a little bit of reverse psychology there. Because if you went out of your way to call your entire show Unbothered, you're probably bothered by a thing or two. This is her getting engaged to someone's granddad? Well, okay. As you can see, she's not a part of the 35%. She's not a banger at all. But she was definitely one of those personality chicks. Now, this is her talking about politics, but let's be real, her political opinions are as deep as a puddle. So let's start talking about there's some kid that she's having on her podcast. Not really, don't care. Charlemagne the God on it, but there's something. Where's it at? Here it is. Okay, so Tulsi, our homegirl, the love of our lives. Okay. As far as this presidential election cycle goes, she destroyed Kamala Harris. I mean, she ripped her to shreds. Yet, we have Jemele Hill here, a lot of MAGA supporters tweeting after this Dem debate, which only means deep down in the places they don't talk about, they know Trump doesn't want to see her on a debate stage. Nah, she needs to tap out. This is apparently like a little piece from her show. And this is in reply to Diamond and Silk. Kamala Harris said she significantly changed the criminal justice system in California. Yeah, she changed it by having men, especially black men, locked up in droves. Kamala Harris destroyed. And so Diamond and Silk, they're infamous MAGA supporters as well. And the deal is that they're both opportunists. Diamond and Silk and Jemele Hill, they're both opportunists. But in seeing this exchange, I felt compelled to make this video about how the thought that they're actually doing, or they're actually capable of leading the black community, is really how, to an extent, Elijah Cummings districts, urban districts and urban communities across the nation have been dismantled. I mean, let's talk about the whole reparations thing, because I got into a back and forth with someone about reparations and how it's already been done. It was a backroom deal that took place back in the 60s where, in exchange for the men and filling the prison systems, we have this fantastical welfare state that, mainly, but not mainly, but plenty of black women have, taken complete advantage of, to a point where now, you may have seen the Steve Harvey video that I did, where you have she got pregnant by some guy without even giving it a second thought, and before the child's even born, the young lady's like, yeah, I need to find a better man than the one I'll let put a baby in me. Like, wait a second there, champ. But that's the poison. And the poison was really brought in through the women, because look at just the matriarchal makeup of most of urban America. There's always some kind of ma or anything else like that. And the men are not only gone, but expected to be gone. I mean, and they've set this up back during the projects, back when they were creating projects back in the 70s, which is also up here on the channel. So it's one of the hardest realizations as a black man is coming to that place, coming to that thought process that, hey, you know what? She's not out for our best interest. She's out for her best interests. I mean, shoot, look at the setups that she got going on here, I mean, it's not a matter of, oh yeah, I want to see our people do great or anything else like that. Or, you know what? Hold on. That's a smidgen unfair of me, because of course she feels like she wants, but she want to get paid. She don't give a damn who cut her check and before that even happens. And guess what? Everything that her, Diamond and Silk, even President Trump, all of these people, they all decide to target and focus on things that ultimately won't fix any of the problems, won't bring our families back and actually, reinforce the necessity for the masculine within these communities. And that's why most of us leave. That's why, oh man, when he gets some money, he go get him a white girl and stuff like that. Yeah. Or he ain't got no money, he gonna go get him a white girl. Yeah. Primarily because that instinct, that poison, it came from somewhere. And this belief that they can lead our communities. I think that's been one of the biggest problems. And shoot, the powers that be would say, yeah, we'll leave it in the females' hands. We'll do what we can to get the men out of the picture, to leave these communities in the females' hands, because that just makes them so vulnerable to, redlining and policies and legislation that, just tell them what it is and they'll agree with it. And after a few generations, even the guys will too. They all will. So I just wanted to release that thought process, put that out there, because Jemele Hill is just the example. I'm telling you, every American descendant of slave man has this poison in their family, and their family is it's a big part of the reason why the numbers that everyone looks at when it comes to black wealth, it's part of the reason. So, that being said, all the internet stuff. If you like it, toss it a like. Dislike, go ahead, do that too. I ain't scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice. You want to get videos like this every single day. Share, because sharing is caring. And speak. Let me know, what do you think of Jemele Hill? What do you think of what I just had to say? Like, first and foremost, I don't dick police anybody, so like I don't care what the next guy goes and does. Me personally, I see them all. I see women as all being pink on the inside. So, so there's that. Like, what I'm saying, you're the soil. If it's soil with the nice good mulch, if it's soil that's been fertilized, either way, it's soil, right? So the soil is the soil, the seed is the seed. The seed tends to be a little bit more important when it comes to, the soil is very important as well, make no mistake, but so is the seed. And without the seed, there is no growing of anything, right? So let me know what you think, and until the next one.